your block to do it, and you're only going to be left behind.
The Australian companies developed what they're calling holographic speakers. They claim these have superior sound quality and design compared with what's on the market today. Acoustic 3D was incorporated in Brisbane last year. It's a publicly listed company, recently raising close on $2 million. Well, MD Joe Hayes speaking with Sky News tech reporter Nigel Freitas about the speakers and how that technology works.
They completely go about energising a room in a radically different way from how we all know speakers work. So part of the effect is you actually get this massive hologram of sound. If you close your eyes, you really are in the same place. All of our focus groups are saying it's just like being there at the performance.
And what's wrong with the way that traditional speakers work? What are the shortcomings there that inspired you to create this new technology?
Traditional speakers in a room, in a small room like a meeting room, small boardroom, you'll get about 200 reflections per second, and that's determined by the speed of sound. So all of those reflections with traditional speakers are destructive. They carry a different message from the direct sound to you. What we do is we completely, the algorithms we use completely take out the room that you're in and stop all those reflections. So you're just getting that pure direct sound, you get perfect clarity as a result.
And these speakers are going to be priced around $900, which is quite expensive for a 2.1, a 3 set. What is it apart from the sound quality that you think consumers should be willing to pay a premium for?
You're getting this, it is sound quality, you're getting the sound an audiophile would normally pay $250,000 for. It's that sort of quality of sound. Also, there's the wife factor, and most wives don't like the monolith in the living room anymore. It's a very small system. It's aesthetically very pleasing, and it can be put on a credenza or on a shelf, and it doesn't actually matter where you put them, really, or what direction you point them. So it's very compatible with the spouse, because loudspeakers tend to be a blokey market, a very male-dominated market. So in that sense, it's good, and they can go loud, which is, most people want to have a party and want to be able to do a suitable sound for a party. They can do that. So they're quite extraordinary what they can do for a little system.
And is your target market the average consumer who just wants a nice sound system for their living room, or are you really after that high-end audiophile kind of user?
It's the everyday consumer. We've been doing a lot of focus work in the last 6 months with this product, field trials. The audiophiles love it. They say, well, this is my second system for the house. They can't afford a second system, but this is ticking the box for them. It is affordable, relatively speaking. It's not unusual for an audiophile to spend more money than that on a pair of cables, let alone the rest of the gear. Then on the other side, in the mum and dad area, yes, it's $895 is the price. It's on the high end. Definitely at $500 is a good price to be in on buying tick. But we're indicating, someone put it to you, you can pay $800 for an iPhone. An iPhone is a great product. You can pay that for a Samsung Galaxy 2. Now, if you've got our speakers, a hologram generator, an iPhone and a Samsung Galaxy 2, I think I'd be choosing the hologram generator myself. You know, I am biased, but it's that relative value.
Tell me about the physical design of the speakers as well. What room of the house are they intended to be placed in, and how much thought have you given to the aesthetics of the speakers themselves? Yeah,
look, we got a Commercialisation Australia grant that gave us a $500,000 budget for proof of concept, just to create product. I went and got a really good world-class industrial design company, and one of the designers was the chief furniture designer for Freedom Furniture in an earlier life. And loudspeakers are in the living room, so I thought there's a good connect there. So I just let them go. I told them what can't be compromised acoustically, but then they just went for it and they come up with the Emergence product. A lot of people really like the shape, but again, we've just lodged new patents where we can actually miniaturize it, we can normalize it, we can make it look as dull and boring as you want. We've been approached by people to encase it inside a pretty bland packaging. We can put it inside a TV, we can put it in a car. We've actually got a 5,000 watt version we can put into a concert PA.
And in terms of the technology itself, you call the speakers holographic. What do you mean by that?
What the technology ends up doing is, in you and I speaking here in these chairs, I hear you, I hear the room, I hear this the acoustics of the room. There's all the subtle quality about more than just the dialogue. And this is quite a nice sounding room too. Now, what we can do is recreate this room's acoustics exactly in your living room. So you're not going to hear your living room. And we did a demonstration a month ago in Sydney at a harbourside location. And the demonstration was fantastic. It doesn't matter what the room's like. And then we had a conversation afterwards. And we realised we had to break the 6 people into 3 groups of 3 because you couldn't actually talk in this room. It had such bad acoustics. But during that demonstration of our speakers, you were oblivious to the fact that this was probably the worst acoustically sounding room in Sydney. And so when we take that further in other applications, when we get into active noise control or we get into actually controlling a room's acoustics, by fixing it, it's cheaper to actually buy a widget than it is to get a builder in to fix acoustics.
And what's next for Acoustics 3D in terms of getting these products on the shelves?
We're quite mature on that whole process. We actually have initial orders coming in out of the Australian market. It's a soft launch in Australia. We've just got another government grant because I think they're pretty happy with what we've achieved so far, and they want us to make sure that we get this right. Now, there's no tricks to get something perfect. It's just being careful, little steps, consolidating. So we're going to get 1,000 units out into the Australian market, check that the returns are low. It's already been through 6 months of field testing, so we're pretty confident about all of that. Then there's a repeat order coming out of Australia that they want to achieve this year, which goes up 4-fold. And these quantities are great. I mean, you know, that's 5,000 units this year in Australia, and that's 2% of the world market. You do the maths. You're essentially looking at potentially hundreds of millions of dollars of profit. And if you get the message really right, like say Apple would roll out an iPhone or Samsung a Galaxy phone or whatever, you're looking at, you know, enormous quantities of these things. And again, the $800 price point doesn't become an issue. But with volume, you can bring the price point down if you want. We understand those sweet spots. But right now, we don't want an avalanche of orders. We just want a small, soft launch in Australia.
That's all we have time for. We'll see you next time.